Everybody have a minute? Are there any questions on the minutes? Anything that needs to be changed or fixed? That being said, there's no changes. Yes, sir.
On the second page over there, on the price, that we got down about 3/4 of the way. What was that, $450,000?
Let's see here.
About 3/4 of the way down.
The 450. Oh, I see it down there. Okay.
See the mistake on it?
Yes, 450 is missing. That's zero. Can you take care of that, Shannon?
That's the only thing.
That's what you got?
That's right.
Anybody else got anything else? Then I need a motion to approve and dispense the August 17th, 2015 minutes with necessary corrections. Somebody make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from August 17th with the corrections.
And a second by Bonnie Chapman. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Take care of that. Remind me, we'll try to get them back in the next month. Well, with the necessary correction, won't have to. But once you get them corrected, get them back to them so we each can sign. Thank you. Everybody, on your table, did you get your police report? Okay. I'm gonna have to talk to Chief Benton. I think he gets his automated, these minutes are automated through a system that tracks everything that the police department does. And it seems like I recall him saying that in order to get that final report for these meetings, it comes out of kind of an off time where it don't end up getting in your packets. I'm gonna check with him on that or see if it's just that he's just not getting them to us early enough to get them in your packets. So we'll try to see if we can do better on it, if we can, because it should be in your packets along with the fire department stuff. Is there any questions about police reports if you've had time to moment to look at them? It's should be a standard report, you know, of arrests and stops and activity since the previous meeting in the city. So it's basically just informational knowledge for you. Okay, don't have any questions on that. We'll move on to number 2 on the agenda, which is the fire department reports. And those should have been in your packet. Here's the runs that they made and what type of runs that they've had and other activities with the fire department. Is there any questions on that? Tonight they're having a graduation ceremony with the reserve police officers.
Well, I think Saturday was the last day.
It was the last day, so they're having that get together down there for the everybody kind of, I think they're having some type of get together and some food and different things like that, kind of celebrate tonight. That's the reason why they're not here to see. Planning commission. We don't have anyone here tonight from the planning commission, and I don't think they met, so we don't really have anything from them. Financial. Is there any questions on the financials? Okay, no questions on that. Like I said, we had old business. Everything this evening should have been an old business. So new business, we didn't have anything under. Is there any new business? Okay, well, let's move on to old business. And we have the third reading of the Alexander Solid Waste Assurances Ordinance has been read twice. This is the final reading this evening. We'll let the train get by for a second. This will be the third reading on this, and at that time after the third reading, we can actually take a vote on it for passage. City of Alexander Solid Waste Assurances. An ordinance requiring that all solid waste generated by construction, demolition, and renovation work done for the City of Alexander, Arkansas to be recycled or otherwise properly deposited in a licensed facility and for other purposes. Whereas solid waste from construction, demolition, and renovation of buildings represents a significant portion of the volume of solid waste presently generated within the City of Alexander, Arkansas, and much of this solid waste is particularly suitable for recycling and reuse for the placement of solid waste in a landfill to be minimized. And whereas the City of Alexander's commitment to the reduction of solid waste requirements, the establishment of regulations encouraging recycling and salvaging of construction and demolition waste, and whereas the City of Alexander's commitment to the proper recycling, reuse, and disposal of solid waste requires all solid waste resulting from the City of Alexander's projects to be managed in accord with state and federal and regulations that protect both public health and the environment. Now therefore be resolved by the City Council of the City of Alexander, Arkansas, that a waste management plan, prior to beginning any construction, demolition, or renovation activities for a project for the City of Alexander, all entities, companies, partnerships, and other persons performing such project shall submit to the mayor the waste management plan. The waste management plan shall include acknowledgement by the entity, company, partnership, and/or person performing the project that all solid waste generated by the project will be recycled, reused, or disposed of in compliance with state and federal law and regulations. This waste management plan shall identify Subtitle D, Class 4 landfills and/or material recycling facility or facilities to which any solid waste generated by the project will be taken. All solid waste resulting from the project must be taken to either a licensed Class 4 landfill or a licensed Class 4 construction and demolition landfill or a licensed material recycling facility. B, post-project report. At the conclusion of any project and prior to payment for the project, the post-project report shall be submitted to the mayor. The post-project report shall consist of final documentation showing actual waste tonnage data, supported by original or certified photocopies of receipts, and weight tags or other records of measurement for recycling companies. Class 4 landfills or material recycling facilities, the mayor shall, or cause to be, verify based on the post-project report that all solid waste generated from the project has been or are to be recycled, reused, salvaged, or disposed of in accordance with the waste management plan prior to making final payment for the project. C, prior ordinances repealed. All ordinances and parts thereof in conflict with the provision of this ordinance are, upon the effective date of this ordinance, repealed to the extent of such conflict, but not otherwise. That is the third and final reading of the ordinance. Need a motion to pass the City of Alexander Safe of Solid Waste Assurances ordinance. Have a motion?
Make a motion to pass the ordinance for the solid waste.
Waste assurances, okay.
Second.
Have a second by Lonnie Chapman. It's before the council for any discussion. Is there going to be, is there any discussion?
We have three readings.
Okay. You heard all you want to hear, huh? Okay. And we'll take a vote. Lewis Hobbs? Jeff Watson? No vote. Stephanie Beck?
Yes.
Andy Mullins?
Yes.
Andrew Bearden? You know, Dan Church,
Yes.
Melissa Ratcliffe,
Yes.
Lonnie Chapman,
Yes.
5 yeses, 3 noes. Motion carried. City of Alexander Solid Waste Assurances Ordinance is passed. Now, it's being passed without an emergency clause, so it'll have to be posted. We'll sign it here momentarily, put the ordinance on it, and it'll go into effect on the 91st day. So 90 days, since there's no emergency clause on it, so we'll take care of that. Got an ordinance number on the sign this. Okay. And I think this is there it is with your signature, Wayne. And you got number 40 yet?
This is the last one we read, which was 021782. So this was the older.
Should be a third, I think.
1583. 93.
It's about as quiet as I've ever heard the gallery in here tonight. By the way, welcome everyone. Next on the agenda, we got the appointment of city attorney. It was voted on to table to this meeting. Ms. Marshall was here this evening with us. I don't know if all of you are familiar with Pat Marshall or not. First of all, before I have her come up to the podium, do y'all have any questions for her? I mean, I think all of you had.
I do.
Do you? I think all of you had her contract in your package from the previous meeting. Go ahead, Andy.
Pat, how much you charging the city for what you done for it so far?
I have only worked on an ordinance for, that amends the 2008 ordinance regarding St. Joseph Glen. That's all I've done. And I submitted a invoice for $273.
At one time, you were an employee of the city. You were the attorney for the city, weren't you?
I have never been an employee of the city. I have done city attorney work for the city of Alexander, but I did it on a contract basis.
Okay. How come you leave the city then?
When I am the prosecutor for the District Court of Alexander, and in 2009 I was as well. When the 80 required a unification of all the district courts within a judicial district. The prosecuting attorney's office in Saline County provided prosecutors for all the district courts in Saline County. That was in 2009. And I basically lost my prosecutor job because it was supplied through Saline County. And I went on and did other things. When Judge Cassidy was elected, the judge, the countywide judge, then Mr. Cassidy's prosecuting attorney's office no longer provided prosecutors because there was a conflict because our judge is the wife of the elected prosecutor. So that's when I was hired back as a prosecutor for Alexander and also in Shannon. But in 2009, I just no longer did work in Saline County after the change to comply with the new aging.
Did you serve under the Shirley Johnson?
Shirley Johnson was the mayor when I did contract work for the city of Alexander.
Well, how come you leave?
I left doing any work I did work for the city of Shannon Hills as well. And in 2009, when I was no longer a prosecutor for either court, I no longer did any work for the cities in 2009.
You weren't fired? Yeah, Shirley Johnson fired you.
I'm not aware of Shirley Johnson firing me. I was only hired on a contract basis, meaning she had me do specific things, I was not an employee, I was employed by them as an employee. I did contract work for specific things. But I did lose my job. I lost my job because the prosecutor's office in Saline County, Glen Cassidy's office, supplied all the prosecutors for all the district courts in 2009. So you could say I was fired, but I did lose my job. But
Do you have anything further in?
Now, your number one job is the prosecutor.
I'm a part-time prosecutor for the city of Alexander and the city of Shannon Hills. It's not a full-time job.
The Shannon Hills, didn't they take their courts to Bryan?
It is still the Shannon Hills Court, however, it will be meeting in the Bryant Court.
What about Alexander?
I'm not aware of any move for Alexander at this time. Judge Cassidy, however, has security in the Bryant courtroom that's not available in any of the district courtrooms. So at some point, that decision would be hers. But it is a Shannon Hills court. It's just meeting in Bryant.
That's all I got.
Anybody else got anything? Thanks, Pat. Need a motion?
I make a motion to appoint Pat Marshall as city attorney for Alexander.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ratliff to appoint Pat Marshall as Alexander City Attorney. Second by Stephanie Beck. Melissa Ratliff?
Yes.
Is there any further discussion?
No.
We'll take the vote. Melissa Ratliff?
Yes.
Okay. Votes yes. Bonnie Chapman?
No.
Andrew Beard? No. Dan Church?
Yes.
Stephanie Beck?
Yes.
Andy Mullins,
No.
Lewis Hobbs, again, no. Jeff Watson's absent, he would be a no. We have 1, 2, 3 yeses, and the rest are no's. Motion failed. Lack of a majority. Let's see, make sure I'm correct here. Had 5 no's, 3 yeses. Moving along, next on the agenda is amended ordinance for the highway state aid money. We had some issues because of St. Joseph Glen and 2 of the streets in St. Joseph Glen weren't in the city. So I contracted with Pat Marshall, and I think you work with the Arkansas Municipal League, I think, on this also.
That's correct.
To come up with an amendment to the previous ordinance. I don't have that ordinance number with us, but it's amending that ordinance, which would be accepting those 2 streets into St. Joseph Glen, whereas the city could go ahead and get this state aid money, $250,000 so they could let the bids in October the 1st. It's the final time this year that they're going to be able to do that. I believe that's Autumn Glen, and I can't remember the other street in St. Joseph Glen. They're in terrible bad shape. Also, Brookwood is to be resurfaced. Cornerstone, Kelly Place, and part of 2nd Street were all to be resurfaced. And the holdup was some of the objections that we had is that the city didn't own the street in St. Joseph Glen. So, whereas we had to amend the previous ordinance to see if we could get those 2 streets accepted into the city of Alexander so we could pass the State Highway Department state aid resolution in order for them to let the bids in October. So what I'm going to do is read that ordinance. See what's in it. I believe every one of you council members got the package. So make sure no one's missing. An ordinance to amend ordinance 2008-02. That was the original ordinance number concerning the Alexander Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District 86. Whereas on June 16, 2008, the City of Alexander approved and adopted ordinance 2008-02 to establish and lay off Alexander Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District 86. Whereas Section 1 of ordinance 2008-02 established the Alexander Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District 86, which states, in part, the Alexander Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District, number 86, is established for the purpose of constructing and installing facilities for waterworks, recreation, drainage, gas pipelines, underground trenches, and excavations necessary for the installation of electric components. Sanitary sewers, streets, including curbs and gutters, sidewalks, together with facilities related to any part of foregoing within said district. Whereas Section 4 of Ordinance 2008-02 states, City of Alexander shall not have any obligation to assume the responsibilities for the continued existence, maintenance, or control over the improvements enumerated in Section 1 concerning Alexander Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District 86. whereas on August the 21st of 2015, the City of Alexandria resolved to accept and support the Arkansas State Highway and Transportation Department State Aid Street Program Fund for the reconstruction and resurfacing of certain named streets, including certain streets in the Alexandria Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District 86, whereas in order to comply with and to accept Arkansas State Highway and Transportation Department State Aid Street Program funds for the repair of certain named streets within the City of Alexandria, is necessary to amend ordinance 2008-02. Whereas the City of Alexandria desires to adopt and assume responsibility for the streets named Autumn Glen and Magnolia Glen, both within the Alexandria Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District 86. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Alexandria, Section 1, amend Section 4 of Ordinance 2008-02. The City of Alexandria does hereby amend Ordinance 2008-02, Section 4, in that the City of Alexandria hereby adopts and assumes responsibility for the streets Autumn Glen and Magnolia Glen located within the Alexandria Municipal Property Owners Multi-Purpose Improvement District 86. All other provisions contained in Ordinance 2008-02 not amended by the instant ordinance herein remain in full force and effect. Section 2, the emergency clause. Due to the extreme deteriorating condition of the streets agreed to be repaired by the Arkansas State Highway and Transportation Department State Aid Program, there is an immediate need to begin the bidding process and to begin road construction prior to inclement winter weather. Therefore, an emergency exists, and this ordinance is necessary for the acceptance of funds from the Arkansas State Highway and Transportation Department's State Aid Program and to begin the repair process. Therefore, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval. Now, all ordinances have to be read 3 times in 3 different meetings unless the City Council suspends that rule for those readings. And it takes 2/3 in order to do such. What I need is a motion to suspend the next 2 readings of this ordinance.
I wanted to know if passing this ordinance or failing this ordinance tonight makes a difference in getting the repairs done this year.
Yes. So we can get into, if we get up to the point where we get it before the council, then let's try to see what we can do with the readings, and then we'll move forward with questions. Is there a motion to suspend the next 2 readings?
I make a motion to suspend the next 2 readings for the ordinance to amend the ordinance 2008-02.
Second.
Ms. Bradley, motion second, now it's, do we take a vote on that? It'll take a 2/3.
They're going to take a 2/3 vote.
Time? Take a 2/3.
I just want to point out there's only 5 of us here.
Exactly. So we can we're going to take a vote with what we have, and of course you can very well see that there's not 2/3.
Is the mayor not allowed to make a vote to establish a quorum?
Do I? Well, we have.
Well, that's well,
There's 5 members here. We have a quorum, so we just not going to have the 2/3 necessary. And by law, this has got to be read 2 more times. So, but we will take a vote on it, since we have the motion there to suspend those readings. Is there any more questions before we do that?
We did, question, we before we discuss it?
This is on the reading, and then we'll see what we'll just do this. Well, let's just do it now, and then we'll go ahead and take a vote on it if you want to.
So this is saying we're going to take this care of them 2 streets.
Just them 2.
Just in 2.
Okay, so what happens in the future when the other streets go down? They're going to come hard for us to fix them 2?
No, this just includes.
I understand that.
The only, the only purpose that this is for right here is because of the state law itself, the state aid program, according to David Mayo, which is over the state aid program here. The state law they put in there that said that if the state is going to give cities, municipalities free money, then whatever they spend that free money on, if they resurface or whatever they do, then the city or the municipality or whoever takes those funds have to maintain whatever portions of the work that they do. It's the only way that we can get the money. And this being the POA in St. Joseph Glen, of course, you know as well as I do, them roads are bad. And these individuals need some help getting those streets fixed. They are citizens and taxpayers of the city of Alexander. And I have no issues or no problems with trying to do that, to help those people, and at the same time getting some other researching done in the city. And originally what I wanted to do, now Shannon Hill's mayor, what he did, when they come in, they got their $250,000. But what he kicked in another $200,000 on top of that. Since whoever was doing the work to start with, that took the lowest bid for the state highway department, I already knew that was the lowest bidder, so the city of Shannon Hill kicked in another $200,000 of street fund money out of their treasury and had a lot of other work done while they were there doing that. And I would have liked to have had, at some point when all this was done, really go look at how much street money we had and get back with you guys and see if we had enough money to do a little bit more while they were here, since they were already the state's lowest bidder on some of the really bad other areas that we might have. This was included in the original drawings and everything that they had from the previous administration. So this is what we have, and come on, guys, you know them streets are bad. They need some help.
I have a question. Was St. Joseph Glen not built on an improvement district?
Yes, it is an improvement district.
Number 86. Well,
Number 86.
there is a statute that simply pertains to improvement districts requiring notice that upon signature for approval of the district, if the district is formed, you may be charged for the cost of improvements. And that's just one of many that I found. But they all lean towards, after so long the improvement district is established, the city, through adverse possession, takes maintenance for those streets. They're city streets, they're public streets, people drive there, school buses go down those roads. So naturally they'd be seen as city. Does that make any sense?
One of the biggest, that was one of the final phases that was done over in St. Joseph Glen. And when those streets were laid, they weren't done, the other phases that were done. I think the state highway department said as little as 1 inch of asphalt was on it. Their base was wrong, and they only put down as little asphalt as they could. And of course, those dump trucks run over there, and they have just tore them all to pieces. And trash trucks and everything else that comes in there, it just really tore them up, and they got large squares gone, and they just gravel now. And there's mounds pushed up. There's no way you can drive a car over any of them. And this is included in this, and these two streets, we've had, and most of you council members know already that we've had 2 attorneys, our last city attorney and the previous city attorney, that if it went to court, more than likely the city would be responsible for all those streets.
That right here would have the same case in which the improvement district will. So.
And here's the issue that I've got. Let's just say that happens. Okay. In the city of Alexander, without any state aid money, is going to have to take all those funds out of their city treasury to go over and fix those streets. we're not gonna be getting any help because it's gonna be coming straight out of our city treasurer. Instead of getting this $250,000 of free state aid money. And like I said, you know, lawsuits happen every day to cities. And if the property owner association stuff down there decide to sue, and the city of Alexander ends up in a courtroom somewhere, we've had two attorneys say it's a very good chance that you'll own all those streets. And then the city will be stuck. Because then we've got streets now that we're going to spend a bunch of money on. That's what the highway department, they tap in this new one that y'all got in your package that they sent out. What they did is they took back just a little bit off of Brookwood. I'm not sure exactly what that distance is, because the streets over there, Autumn Glen, and those two streets are so bad that it's going to take additional funds to try to do a little bit more of those streets over there.
So it feels like some of our money to fix their shit.
But it's just a little small section, you gotta reduce the cost.
That's not near as bad as the, I mean,
It still starts at the same spot where it would have before, but it ends in a different spot,
It is in a different spot.
closer to the railroad tracks. So it's not gonna affect the residential part as much as it is where they just laid that pavement not too long ago.
And part of that, when it goes to the Brookwood in the back, they say that they're not going to cross railroad tracks. They say they will not cross railroad tracks because all the permitting process and everything with railroad, like Missouri Pacific, and all, said that process is a horrible thing to have to go through. So they're only going to do on this side of the tracks from Brookwood, there at Linden, just as you come across the tracks on Brookwood there, they said they're not going to cross over and do it over to Show Road because of the permitting process with the railroads. So that's the knowledge that I have on all this. They said that these funds here, and just for informational purposes, this money, this free state aid highway money, comes from the 1 cent that everybody pays when they buy 1 gallon of gasoline anywhere in the state. Now, they have a committee, the legislature, Arkansas legislature passed, set all this up and passed all the laws on it. And this is brand new. They tell you they're still working through the book themselves. It's been in place about 3 years. Now, they have a 9-member committee. It's comprised of 9 mayors of different cities that are current mayors. Every time a mayor is not elected or retires, they put another acting mayor in that committee position. So as mayors of cities is the ones that are deciding who gets these funds. You apply for them. They said again, they thought probably you need to apply every year, but they said we probably would have a good chance of getting this money again in about 3 years. So it's the same amount of money again, it's $250,000. So they had a good chance about 3 years to get it once again. So that's kind of the way the process works, kind of where the money comes from. Even people in Fayetteville, you know, we're getting money from tax money that they spend throughout the state for this. So, and we all pay that. So anyways, any more questions?
Well, just what I'm getting at is, I got people in my ward and other wards that is concerned that we don't get our streets fixed, but we're really focusing on getting them fixed.
You're getting 4 other states too, huh?
There's other streets that's gonna be also, we can only apply for so much aid for so many years, but we have to apply for your streets. They can be done, it's just gonna take time. The Arkansas Highway Department's not gonna just come out and do all of Alexander in 1 year. They don't have the money for it, and we don't either.
I think that's this project's gonna be held up because St. Joseph Glen's getting some streets fixed.
It's before the council right now, and I will give y'all, those who want to, time to speak.
I don't see how that makes sense to me to hold up this whole project for the city of Alexander to get streets done just because St. Joseph Glen is getting their streets done. And if they need help in the future, we adopt these streets. They're not gonna get any more down there than what we do to our streets. Potholes, we put hot mix in them and tap them down, that's it.
And, now, I had a question for her, now, but what are rules? Do you have a question? Okay, does anyone else? So we have a rule, well, hang on just a second. We have a rule that says if you want to speak on this matter, then the majority vote of the council members have to vote during the discussion session of this to allow you to speak if you want to address the council. But then we'll just take a vote. All in favor to let these people speak to the council, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed? Good.
I'm at 60 seconds. Okay, good. Well, my name is Joy Gray, and I live in St. Joseph's Glen. I do not live on one of the streets that is torn up. I live on a different street that's perfectly fine right now. However, I do work for the state, and I deal a lot with grants and the specificity with which they have to be used. And it was written in the grant. I'm sure someone came out and took a look at all the streets and saw that St. Joseph's Glen desperately needed to be fixed out there. That's probably part of the reason why the grant was given in the first place, is because of how horrific those streets are. And yes, I have driven the other streets, and no, they are not as bad. However, you cannot take away those 2 streets and still get the other 4 fixed. That's not how the way grants work. And if you refuse it this time and don't try to use it correctly this time, the next time you apply for it, you're a lot less likely to get it. Because I sit on some of those kind of committees, and I know if it's, well, they screwed it up the first time because they couldn't agree on anything and they wanted to try to pick and choose how they use that grant, we're going to shuffle that to the bottom of the pile. That's how it works. That's just the way it is. I know we hear frequently, I just heard them say, us and them. We are part of Alexander. I live here. I mean, I could choose to live somewhere else, but I chose to live here. We pay taxes here. Aaron lives back there on one of the back streets. If an ambulance had to go back there to his house, I don't know what we'd do. He'd just have to park and they'd have to run a stretcher as fast as they could. If the cops had to go back there, too bad. They'd have to park and hoof it because they can't get back there. So, I mean, we are trying to live in this city and be part of this city and be part of the community. And this us and them attitude that we're some sort of, I don't know, I guess y'all think we're all living in yachts and sipping champagne all day. That ain't how it works. We all have real jobs and do real stuff and pay real taxes, and we just want the same thing everybody else is doing. That's it.
Good name.
Gray, Joy Gray, Gray with an A.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You want to say?
Okay, my name is Aaron Lee. I live on Magnolia Glen. Bought the house 3 years ago. First house, new wife, kid on the way. Because my roads are impassable. It's 1/10 of a mile. That's not very long. And what's the turn down money that's free for everybody else? That's just it. You want to shut down an Oregon road, and then no one else gets the streets fixed as well. People in your ward may want their streets fixed. What are they going to say when you turn down free money because of a bias in another neighborhood? That's it.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Julia Wallen. I actually live in Phase 7, the streets that you're talking about, and I have to drive down those streets every day. And it's supposed to be a 2-lane highway, but it's not. You can only, if 2 cars are coming, somebody has to stop in order, because you can't pass over that big crater that's in the middle of the street. And I just think that that is so ridiculous for us not to pass this ordinance when it benefits not only St. Joseph Glen, but also the city of Alexander. I mean, we are taxpaying citizens, and we do live here, and we deserve to have our streets fixed as well.
Certainly, I'm in full agreement with you, so, but we have to get it to the governing body. Did you get something, sir?
Yes, sir. My name's Gavin Gray. To my understanding, there's 6 streets getting fixed, correct?
Well, there's Cornerstone, Kelly Place, 42nd Street.
So because of a third of the streets, somebody wants to throw a hissy fit. So 4/6 of the streets are not in St. Joseph's Glen, and you guys are willing to scrap them because of hatred, bias, spite. So you're gonna go tell your wards, hey guys, we're not fixing y'all streets because screw that neighborhood. I want to see you tell them that face to face. That's all I want to do. If that's your honest to God choice, let them know you turned down fixing their streets because out of spite for one neighborhood. If you can sleep with that, I'm good with it all.
Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for the council members who oppose it. What actually is the reason as to why you would not want to get the street fixed, especially if they're going to be fixing other parts of Alexander?
Just want it done legally.
And with that ordinance,
It's a paper, it's legal.
This is legal.
It is legal, I got ordinances right to be like legal.
so is there any specific reason?
As a matter of fact, the wording that was in the petition to begin with was not legal. It is the city's responsibility to assume that based on, where is that, where's the all cap? Here it is. This should have been in the original petition for the improvement district. Lonnie, just so you can read it. These caps were supposed to be on the first one, and this last sentence.
Well,
What is not legal about this new amended ordinance, Andy?
okay. Now, really, I just wanted a little bit of discussion this evening because this was all the point. This ordinance by law, this amended ordinance has to be read. It's read. And because we suddenly don't have a two-thirds, we have to read this ordinance 2 more times, which the next meeting is in October and the next reading in November. But the final bidding for the state highway aid is October 1st. So in other words, there's not going to be anything done.
Dead in water.
It's not going to be anything done on this whatsoever. But I am going to take a vote on this if there's no more discussion. And just for the record, to show that we didn't have a 2/3 suspension of the reading.
When does this gotta be in?
October 1st. So, that's the final bidding for this year, is October 1st. So had the elected bids for September 1st, and then the final letting for bids was, to be able to get in with the October 1st. So that's where we stand. Ma'am?
Can there not be special meetings or readings or anything between now and then?
Yeah.
There needs to be, because
If we could get it in, yes. We could have a special meeting.
I'm pretty smart, isn't it?
We could do a 2/3 and get right on through this and do the resolution and bam, and get it in enough time to get it done, so. But as it stands this evening, I'm gonna go ahead and take a vote on this, just for the record. To suspend the 3 readings, Lewis Hobbs would be a no. Jeff Watson would be a no. Stephanie Beck to suspend the 3 readings.
Yes.
Andy Mullen, suspend the 3 readings. Yes. Did you say yes? Andrew Beard would be a no. Dan Church,
Yes.
suspend reading, would be a yes. Melissa Rattler,
yes.
Lonnie Chapman.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yeses. 1, 2, 3. 3 noes. Do not have the 2/3 necessary. It would take 6 yeses in order to do that. Because we have 8-member council, so it takes 6 members. It takes 6 yeses in order to do it, and we don't have it. So, we'll just have to carry on. We got, the 21st? not much time left. I don't know, if the council would want to come back and, attempt to do this in a special meeting or not, I don't know.
I'm back tomorrow.
Attempt to, but we gotta get past the 3 readings, and then we can actually take a vote on the amended ordinance. Now, at that point, if we got, it don't take a majority to pass that. And at such point, then we'll be down to the emergency clause portion of it, which puts it into effect immediately. Now, it takes, once again, 2/3 again on the emergency clause, so it could be held up there. And if 2/3 is not on the emergency clause, then the 91st day it goes into effect. So, 2 things we have to have the 2/3 for.
So they can still pass these through.
It can be done.
Can be done if they want.
If we had 6 members here, 6 voting members, we just need 1 more tonight, and we would have, and if everybody agreed, then we would have the 2/3 that was necessary for passing to this. So I've done, all I can do with this.
So I need to read it 2 more times.
It's got to be read 2 more times, unless the council by 2/3 vote chooses to suspend those other 2 readings, and then they're not necessary.
We have a special meeting and we have 6 votes, they don't have to be there.
So, I mean, that's all we can do with that, so we just got to move on. And I can't do anything now with the resolution for the state, which is on the agenda here, because we didn't pass this. So once this is passed, the city accepting those streets, and by the way, it wasn't accepting anything else but the streets, it wasn't accepting the sewer, lights, anything, all that was included. You know, and we just gonna have to go in occasionally, maybe 6, 7, 8, 10 years from now, maybe put potholes are right. So that's all we're gonna have to do. So until, 15 years down the road, where maybe or 20, when they're really starting to need work again, but it's gonna be many, many, many years down the road. I don't even know if I can be around. But that's kind of where we're at on that. So any 3 council members can call a special meeting, or the mayor can call a special meeting and try it again. But that's kind of where we stand right now. We're down to public comment. Is there any public comment? You have 3 minutes of public comment.
This will be quick. St. Joseph's Lynn's POA is having I don't know what neighborhood mix and mingle, but it's basically a block party. We're going to be in the city park on Saturday from 4 to 8. We're going to have bounce houses and games and a food truck and an ice cream truck. So you can come and buy some ice cream and let you go jump for 4 hours and get them good and tired so they go to bed.
You say Saturday?
Yes, sir. Saturday from 4 to 8 to be in the city park. So when you drive by and you see bounce houses and food trucks, just stop and we're just all going to be hanging out.
Sounds like
I've been putting these up around town, so tell anybody and everybody who's not.
Have you get one to the personnel with
No, I came by there real close, so.
If you get one of these Churchill out there,
Okay.
she'll see that it's posted once you go in. Is there any more public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Is it at this point okay to ask questions to you?
Well, you got 3 minutes. Well, actually, what you have is 3 minutes to address the council. It's not a question and answer. It's just, you can tell them whatever you want to tell them in 3 minutes. So.
Okay, I would just like to solicit the council or even the mayor to call a special meeting for the ordinance because it's not due until October 1st, so it's still time that we could possibly get it passed if everyone shows up. So I would like to strongly solicit you all to consider that.
I think we have 3 aldermen here. I think we have 3 aldermen at least here who would want to call a special meeting.
General public comment? Ken?
Yeah. As treasurer, and I hope that I've done a good job, but I would like to tell you that straight up, as far as I'm concerned, and maybe my bookkeeper can back this up, we're in the best position we've ever been. We do well. I'm happy for that. If I have to do that, then I'm happy for that. But I ask that we all have a civic duty to do what's right. A civic duty. So all I ask, I might have 30 seconds here, is that everybody that makes a vote on this, and I do it because something in their head and their heart told them it's right.
More public comment? Need a motion to adjourn?
I made the motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Second, Stephanie. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.